Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
Security forces target violent producers in Gully Bank South. A joint police military operation is underway in Gully Bank, Savannah Lamar, and a 48-hour curfew imposed following heightened tension in the area. 2 high-powered weapons have reportedly been seized by the police, and several violent producers have been taken into custody, head of the Westmoreland Police Division Senior Superintendent Wayne Joseph confirmed. Currently, we are conducting an operation in the Barracks Road area of South. This area is popularly known as Gully Banks. We have a 48-hour curfew that is in place in this space, and we are conducting a number of coordinated searches. We have assets from Kingston that are assisting us, SSP Joseph told reporters. SSP Joseph further noted that operations of this nature will continue across the parish. Over the next couple of days or weeks, you will see a number of these operations taking place across the parish, because we intend to continue these operations until we can de-escalate the tension that is taking place, so that we can resume when we bring back the place to normalcy, intervention efforts, the lawman assured. Meanwhile, SSP Joseph is appealing to persons with information about any criminals within the space to liaison with the police. I just want it to be known that we'll be horning this space right throughout the night and into tomorrow, and if needs be, we'll go further. I want anybody out there who is within the space with information or know where there is a gun holder or any person the police may have interest in to just pass on the information while we are still on the ground, SSP Joseph urged. The gun that you might refuse to tell us about might just turn on you and some of your family or someone you know tomorrow. So seize the opportunity while you have the military and the police within this space, so that we can do a thorough search throughout this space and try to make it safer for you and your family, he stressed. Soldier held with US more than $40,000. A member of the Jamaica Defense Force JDF is now in police custody after more than US $40,000 was found in his possession at the Sansa International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James. Reports are that about 1:30 p.m., the JDF member arrived on the island and was in possession of being checked by security personnel. During the routine checks, US $40,400 was found in his possession, which he could not give account for. He was subsequently taken into custody. However, his identity is being withheld pending further investigation. JDF makes major ganja seizure in Hanover. The Maritime, Air, and Cyber Command of the Jamaica Defense Force has made a major marijuana seizure in Hanover. The JDF says service members were deployed to the Great River Bay area on Sunday to locate and interdict a vessel of interest. It says they took control of the vessel early Monday morning. According to the JDF, on board the vessel were approximately 22 knitted bags with what appeared to be marijuana. The Army says safeguarding Jamaica's marine space is central to its work. Throughout our maritime operation, several illicit activities or pose a threat to our country and our citizens have been intercepted and persons detained. 5 of 8 persons of interest turned themselves in to St. Catherine South Police. Police in St. Catherine South are confirming that 5 of the 8 men listed as persons of interest in the area have turned themselves in. The men turned themselves in on Tuesday following an appeal by law enforcers over the weekend. According to the police, the men were wanted for questioning in relation to several incidents on the investigation, including shooting, arson, and murder. The men now in custody are Philip Scott, otherwise called Philip or Trooper, Giovanni Newell, otherwise called Gio, and a man known as Chad, all from Gregory Park area. Ryan Muir, otherwise called Titty Man, and a man known only as Boy Boy from the Banga Gully area are also in custody. In the meantime, the police are appealing for the other men listed as persons of interest to turn themselves in. They are Colin Stoner, otherwise called Trees, and a man known only by his alias Rasta Mouse. Curfew imposed in sections of Hanover, Westmoreland. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in the Macquarie and Camp Road communities in Hanover. The curfew began at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, August 8, will remain in effect until 4 p.m. on Thursday, August 10. The boundaries of the curfew are north along Camp Road approximately 220 meters from the intersection of Bamboo Drive to Church Lane at the eastern boundary, east along Church Lane approximately 60 meters from the intersection of Camp Road to the Macquarie Main Road at the southern boundary, south along Macquarie Main Road Drive approximately 310 meters from the intersection of Church Lane to Bamboo Drive at the western boundary. West along Bamboo Drive approximately 90 meters from the intersection of Macquarie Main Road to Camp Road at the northern boundary. Meanwhile, in Westmoreland, a curfew has been imposed in sections of Barracks Road. The boundary of the curfew are north along an imaginary line approximately 780 meters from the Dre Resort Jerk Center at Gooden River to the Chantilly Rose Bar at the eastern boundary. East along Strasborough Main Road approximately 580 meters from Chantilly Rose Bar to the bridge of Dunbar's River at the southern boundary. South along Barrack Road Main approximately 170 meters from the bridge of the Dunbar's River to the Life Learning Education Center at the western boundary. West along an imaginary line approximately 170 meters from the Life Learning Education Center to Drew Resort Jerk Center at Gooden River. During the hours of the curfew, all persons within its boundaries are reminded to remain within their premises for 48 hours, unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. Portland resident fined for operating sawmill without license. A Portland man has been found guilty of unlawful use of a sawmill after being caught operating the equipment in a first estate without a license. The accused, David Taylor, appeared before the Portland Parish Court and was fined $20,000 for the incident, which happened back in March 2022 in the Lennox First Estate in Portland. Acting Senior Parish Judge Patricia Lopez presided over the matter. The conviction follows an investigation by the Forestry Department. Reports are that on May 23, 2022, Taylor was caught operating the chainsaw during a routine patrol of the First Estate. After questioning, Taylor was found to be operating a sawmill without a license and was served a notice of seizure for the 25 pieces of Spanish elm lumber that were recovered during the operation. Kadian, Senior Director of the Legal Services Branch at the Forestry Department, says the conviction is welcome and hopes it will dissuade others from operating illegally. She encourages others to regularize themselves, otherwise they risk a similar fate. We encourage the public to obtain the requisite license and permit to avoid prosecution. Sawmill licenses are valid for the calendar year in which they are granted, and as such, persons are encouraged to commence the application process before January of each year, so they will have the full 12 months to use their license, she stated. The Forestry Department is licensed to operate sawmills and to cut or extract timber or forest produce. Permits are needed for the use of the forest road to remove timber or forest produce, to use and or transport a power saw, and to use a light and open fire or splint in forest estates.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification